Yes, Shashi.
టిఫిన్ మీకే వెళ్ళి తినేయండి 8:30 కల్లా తినేస్తారు.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, very good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening. Give me 1 second, please. We'll start in a second. Give me a second.
నిద్రపోతారు ఇద్దరు నిద్రపోయే వాళ్ళు మధ్యాహ్నం.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Right. So I'll just a quick introduction about myself. I am CA Madan Reddy. I have done my CA in 2007. I was into industry, working for companies like Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, etc. for about 10 years. I have also done my executive MBA from IIM Kolkata. I was into mainly private equity, real estate fund accounting, analytics, etc. teams. Initially, obviously, as a team member, and later I was managing my own teams. From last 5 years, I mean, 2018, I left corporates. Goldman Sachs was my last company. From last 5 years, I'm into these training and placements. The reason is obvious. When I was in the industry, we used to feel, there are students who are making too many career changes and making small mistakes. Then when we hire them, to hire itself, it used to take good amount of time to find the right candidate. Even if you find the candidate, then it will take good amount of time for us to train them to our team requirements. So this is where we felt, if there is an institute who can give them training on technical topics plus career guidance, if somebody can give, maybe, the time we need to take for recruitment or the time, I mean, the deliverables, the speed at which we can deliver to the client and all can be better. So with that idea, I started. From last 5 years, we trained thousands of students and placed them into all these companies, into industry like investment banking companies or asset management companies, etc. The objective of today's session is to take up any questions related to the opportunities in the investment banking and asset management industry, and the courses that we offer and the content. Then remaining questions like, what are the salaries that normally offered, or, who can take up these courses, or all these common questions. Any question you may have, you can also ask either in between or towards end of the session. Right. So give me a second. I'll take up that Excel sheet where I typed some of the commonly asked questions. If there is any question, I'll add and then I'll give the details. I think it's Excel sheet is audible. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah. So yeah, the contact details I have given here in case if somebody needs to contact our team later. The Telegram group and phone numbers and website all are given. Right. So what is the idea of our institute and how we can help the students? We have students mainly from commerce background, right? People either who completed CE or pursuing CA, or people from CA Inter, CMA Inter, or MBA degree, or experienced also, anywhere between 1 year to 20 plus years experience also we have dealt with in the past. So the learning that they can expect, the learning they can expect is from both sides. One is technical aspects. I'll give you the details. The courses that we offer and the technical aspects that we cover there, plus the career guidance side. As I said before, I myself worked for more than 10 years in the companies, including the managerial position. So when we are hiring the people, or when we are giving the promotions to them, or when we see those cycles, what criteria the people will be promoted, looking into all those things, I have an idea, or our team have an idea. What are the aspects students should know? Accordingly, the guidance will be there. It's not just providing the career opportunities or job opportunities initially. It will continue even after they joining. If they have a question about how to get the promotion, or maybe maybe if one company is not working well for them, what are the other companies they can try, or maybe how to stick to the same company to have a long-term career. So that way the career guidance will continue. That's where we have the students either freshers or experienced. Both will be served, right? So, and as usual, initially when we came out of the corporate, it's like making the topics very explaining to the student in a manner in which they can understand. It used to be difficult for us initially, because people from corporate normally good at technical, or they know the requirements of the company or requirements of the interviewer, but explaining those things to the people who are fresh out of the college, it is difficult. That was initially I was also facing the issue. Coming to the people who are from the education background, maybe they can explain the technical topics well because of their experience, but they don't know the requirements of the client, requirements of the company. Even if they understand based on discussion with HR or discussion with some hiring managers, still the understanding of a person who spent time in the corporate for a few years versus a person who is new to that corporate, there'll be a difference. So that's where we felt that's where we are adding the value, in the sense one, teaching the technical topics to the student in a manner they can understand, and how that is applied to the company. For example, if I take people from CA background, MBA background and all, they might have some idea about what is this mutual funds or NAV calculations or stock market, etc., derivatives and all. But most of the times they don't know exactly how it is applied in the corporate world. For example, let's say a company like JP Morgan, in which divisions that knowledge is important. And division to division also it will change, right? For example, if take a company, any instrument like let's say share or derivative. If you are working for a mutual fund invest into shares or invest into derivatives. So you should understand as an investor how you are making gain or loss, how much you made gain or loss. That part is important. If you are in the investment banking side, where maybe you are giving advice to the company, then which instrument is good for that company? Can they issue share or can they issue bond? If so, what is the right time to issue? So that way, within the divisions of these companies also, the topic may be same, but the level of knowledge you need about the same topic or how you have to present in the interview is different. So that's where we are trying to give not only technical area, I know industry overview, like what are these companies, what are the divisions, what kind of openings will be there, how to prepare for that interview. So that way, end-to-end guidance will be there, right? So if there is an interview tomorrow, what kind of questions you can expect, and company to company, the resume has to be updated properly with relevant content. So that way, the continuous guidance will be there, keeping the expectations of the companies in mind, right? So that's what we are making value addition compared to any other either institute or college kind of thing. Okay, before I can take up all these questions, common questions, any expectations, like what are the questions you have? Let me know. Maybe you can quickly look at this question also. I mean the list of questions that anyhow I'll cover. If you have any other question, let me know. I'll add there and then I'll answer all those questions one after the other. Okay. Is there any other questions you may have, or as far as if I'm covering all those areas, maybe your purpose of attending the session will be done. Am I audible? Can somebody confirm, please, if I'm audible or no? Is it audible? Can somebody unmute and confirm, please? Maybe it's muted from our side, everyone. I could not able to understand. Oh, unable to unmute. I don't know. Give me a second. Let me check. Yeah, you can now unmute also. Anyhow.
Yes, yes sir, we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
It's audible.
Thank you, and sorry for that. I think some settings have changed. So all those questions are okay, or any other questions you have?
We have already posted in chat box.
Oh, okay. Better if you can read out. Otherwise, let me see that also.
Sir,
Uh,
which background people can do this process, sir? Because I'm from MCA background.
Okay.
Yeah,
s-
I want to switch my career. So, am I eligible for this course, sir?
Give me a second. I'm just making a note. So. I'll answer that. Give me a second. And I think somebody was asking Hy-Vee versus FA. What is the difference? Yeah, I'll take up that also. Any other questions I'm missing there? I'll go quickly. Don't worry. All the questions I'll answer quickly.
so yeah, I have one more question. Can I answer?
Please.
Hi, sir. I'm a chartered accountant. Actually, I have a 2 years experience in a FP&A domain. So I have experience in financial modeling, valuation, and few due diligence and M&A as a part of my work as well. But as well as valuation. So I just want to get into core investment banking actually. No. So I'm not very sure how to approach that and how to approach the companies and what are the skills I need to update, professionally, and how to approach that. And will the good bucket firms or top tier firms will take investment banking if I want to switch my career after 2 years? So want to know that.
Fine, I'll cover at some point of time, please. I hope remaining all, as far as I covered those questions, it should be okay. And
Hello.
of course, if there is any other question, I'll take up on the way. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi sir. I'm also a chartered accountant. I'm into auditing field right now.
Mhm.
So is it good time to switch my career? I just want to know that.
Short answer is yes, but anyhow, I'll answer that again. So,
So same question I have. I am from tax background.
that's okay. Again, short answer is yes, but anyhow, I'll answer that. So let me go one after the other. So the first question, obviously, career opportunities in the IB and AM industry. I think some of you might be from the same industry, if I'm not wrong. What are the companies' names, or even if you're not from the same industry, what are the companies normally in this industry who hire in India? Anybody? Some of the company names, please.
JP
JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs,
Franklin Templeton.
Credit Suisse.
Right.
BNY.
Barclays, Society General, Deutsche Bank,
Citco, Apex.
Citco, Apex, State Street. So there are many companies. Some are very high level. Some of them are mainly either into banking, retail banking, or investment banking, like Citibank, Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, etc. Barclays and all those. That is one bunch of companies. The other bunch of companies where more recruitment is happening nowadays, like Citco, State Street, etc. They are mainly from the asset management industry or fund accounting side. So very high level. Those are the two types of companies. What are the opportunities? Mainly, we have seen a lot of hiring into IB companies somewhere in 2007-2008 period, where a lot of migration happened into India. And India-based companies, that side the growth is happening. As usual, we are targeting mostly MNCs, where generally the salary is the main advantage, where they normally pay more than Indian company. Coming to this side, the fund accounting side, many companies are now setting up their offshore centers in India. For example, if we take companies like JP Morgan, they're also bringing a lot of fund accounting, like private equity, hedge fund related opportunities to India. Others exclusive, they call it as fund administrators, like Apex Fund, as I said, Citco, Northern Trust, or Society General. I mean, Society General is mainly known for the other side, IB side, but they're also having their own teams to bring those kind of services. So mainly those kind of companies, many companies are setting up their offices. Now, many companies, others like EY or audit offices, I mean, even RSM, many of them are setting up offices in India. Very high level opportunities can be into end to end. I mean, some of them might ask you to prepare the financials of a fund, like a mutual fund, private equity, hedge fund. Some of them might ask you to audit those funds like EY, Deloitte, etc. Or some of them into some supporting services, maybe registrar and transfer agent services or processing of corporate actions. Some more in detail I'll get into, but there are ample opportunities in terms of for any background guy. Maybe you're from basic, graduation like BCom, BBA, etc., or you're from CA, CMA kind of background, or you're from MBA background, etc. All people have their own set of opportunities. Again, little more details I'll get into that over a period. Specific questions I'll take. Coming to top recruiters, just now I covered the roles offered. As I said, some of the companies kind of split the work into many pieces. For example, derivatives analyst, corporate actions analyst, reconciliation teams, financial reporting teams, regulatory reporting teams, etc. There are many types of teams within investment banking or within fund accounting. Again, those roles, again, I'll touch base some of them, but very high level. These are the types of works. I mean, the common expectations from the skill set point of view is you should be very good from the technical knowledge, like, derivatives, corporate actions, what is mutual funds, private equity, hedge funds, and all these topics, you should be very thorough. Then communication skills are very common. Third, understanding of the industry, like, what are these companies, what are the divisions within those companies, etc. That again, somewhere while taking up the questions, I'll cover. But one of the common mistake people make there is they confuse between the type of work they have to do versus the title, right? For example, even some students that day-to-day basis, even though we try to clarify many a times, the confusion they get is, sir, I got a role of analyst, I got a role of associate, I got a role of, maybe something like a similar title, basically, derivatives analyst or corporate actions analyst. Is it good? Just based on the title, most of the times we cannot say, right? For example, if you take a company like JP Morgan, you may be in the mergers and acquisition division, you are still called as analyst. Maybe you're into the finance team, we're preparing the financials, you are an analyst. Maybe you're doing copy paste data also, you're an analyst. So that way, that's one of the common mistake people make by looking into the titles. Maybe this is great, this is less. That's not the way to go. We have to understand the job description, right? So that's one. Which qualification background I covered already. The areas that we cover is any finance team people can easily do it. What courses offered? I think that's where somebody also asked what are the difference between the FA and fund accounting. Let me quickly put there. Give me a second. Maybe in 10 minutes, I'll cover all these main points that I want to cover. Then I'll take up individual questions. Please just give me 2 minutes. So I'm now talking about this question. Right. So the course mainly as of now, we have two. One is investment banking, which is starting tomorrow, and the fund accounting, which is starting on April 7th. 7th April onwards. And which is tomorrow means Monday actually, 27th March. So what is the main difference? The content itself, what we cover. In the fund accounting, it's easy to cover. Anybody from fund accounting side, to say working in the industry, mutual funds, private equity, or hedge funds. The question here is what exactly these fund accounting companies do, high level, if you can please say that. Again, unmute issues. No. Yeah. Either you're working in the fund accounting company or you heard about it. I think my question is, what exactly, if you are into these fund accounting companies, what exactly you have to do? I'm sorry, your voice is, maybe you're away from the system, it's not audible. Anybody, please?
In preparing books of accounts.
Yeah. Books of accounts of what?
Funds, mutual funds.
Okay, right. That's high level. That's what, right? So when we say fund, assuming there are some people who are new to the industry. So when we say fund, it's like a mutual fund, private equity fund, or hedge fund, whatever. They pool the money from investors and they go and invest into either shares or real estate or infrastructure or cryptocurrency or any of these assets. Now, if the fund accounting teams of any company, let's say if you join, let's say JP Morgan, for example, one of the activity or entire fund you have to take care. For example, preparation of financials for that fund, which means all investors are coming into the fund, posting of those entries, and then, accounting for gain or loss of those investors, etc. One side investor side, one side investment side, where they have invested, and then going through those legal documents of those investments, valuations, maybe sometimes internal valuations teams or external valuations teams will be there, whatever profit or loss from those investments, reporting those things and preparing the set of financials and sending to the investor. So end to end, most of the companies give end-to-end fund accounting, which means you should know, as I said, that, who are the investors' profile, what are the profits and how to calculate, like what is IRR, what is multiples, they call it as, multiple on invested capital, all these written calculations, one side investor side. Investment side, again, calculation of IRR or, profit or loss, reporting in the books and then disclosing them in the financial statements, and everything is expected. Keeping in view of all these rules, we cover almost all the topics. For example, the fund structure, let me quickly write there. How the funds will be registered, what is the meaning of master feeder, all those things, fund structure will be covered. Then all these things, incentive fee calculations, they call it as waterfall provisions or carried interest, etc., or management fee, all those things will be covered in detail. And all investment strategies, where the funds invest, what kind of investments happen in India or abroad. Then all about financial reporting, like, what are the disclosures they make, and all about journal entries, what I mean, what entries to be posted, the disclosures in the balance sheet, everything in practical way, end-to-end topic will be discussed for all those funds. I mean, private equity funds, hedge funds, and mutual funds, all end-to-end topics. And to make you understand some of the areas, for example, hedge funds invest into something like derivatives. So summary of derivatives will be done, summary of corporate actions, summary of reconciliations also will be covered. This is the high level content. Detail, maybe I'll take the questions and then get into. Coming to investment banking, this side, I mean, for example, if you're joining the company investment banking side, both investment banking operations and other content, something like, for example, equity research on the primary markets, secondary markets, currency markets, debt markets, almost all those content will be covered. Obviously, there is a connection. For example, derivatives, here we give the summary. If the fund is investing into derivatives, how to understand, how to account for the profit and all those things. This side, what type of derivatives will be there if you are buying and selling derivatives on behalf of the client, what kind of products to deal with. So that way, advisory side of the content will be covered in the IB class. Here, mainly from the fund accounting or investor side, it will be covered, right? So that's the main difference in terms of content. Roughly, it goes for the 2 months, roughly, which means around weekly, if I say Monday to Friday, 15 hours into roughly maybe 7 to 8 weeks, if I take 120 hours. This will be covered roughly 4 weeks, 15 into 460, little bit high, maybe around 70 hours it will be covered. Detail. Apart from that, to make student ready for the industry, many other options will be covered. For example, aptitude, because many of the companies are taking up written tests at the beginning, that will around 20 hours. I mean, both courses, it will be allowed. I mean, people doing fund accounting or investment banking, both will have access to these things. Anyway, maybe I'll put it here itself. Same way, there are some people who are struggling with basic accounting to prepare the financials of the funds and all. So in terms of, I mean, for that, it will be roughly around 20 hours again. It will be covered. And Excel basic will be covered. That is around 18 hours. And advanced Excel will be covered for about 3 weekends, again 18 hours roughly. And there'll be many other optional classes based on the requirement of the people. For example, last week we conducted ESG, mostly corporate guest faculty will come, people who are having experience in that field, like ESG investments recently we covered, or blockchain, cryptocurrency concepts we covered before, or softwares used in the industry, how to, I mean, what are the names of those softwares and what are the features of it. Likewise, depends on the requirements of the interviews and depends on the latest updates in the market. These sessions will be going on. None of these classes will be charged, in the sense, if people enroll for either of these courses, all these things are anyhow covered at free of cost. So coming to the fees altogether, so roughly if I say, plus, if you enroll for investment banking, fund accounting classes are anyhow covered, which means around 266 hours of training, plus optional classes, as I said, some more, I mean, industry specific people coming and taking up the classes. All these things, maybe very high level, I can say approximately 300 hours of training on each student. Everything included, we kept it to 41,000. If you have any reference, it will be 39K. I mean, 2K discount will be there. That's what it is. Only fund accounting plus optional classes, if you want to go for, that will be there around 33K. I mean, 33K before referral and after referral 31. And these things anyhow include both of them, a placement assistance. Let me quickly cover that side. This can be from resume preparation. It can start from resume preparation. and giving you suggestions as to based on your strengths and weaknesses, what are the areas you have to highlight. For example, one of the common mistake we do is putting all the points we have done in the previous employment, or putting all your personal details. I mean, X course, Y course, if you are a fresher. But we suggest, for example, depends on which company you are targeting, highlight only those things, right? I mean, what is relevant to the interviewer is more important. So that way, resume preparation side, our team will help. Then arranging the referrals or sending to the HR wherever the suitable, I mean, based on your qualification. If the company is asking the direct resumes, or keep continuous assistance, something like where to apply for the jobs, or which companies are hiring. That continuous assistance will be there. There's no time limit as such, or there's no limit as such. Only one company will support, two companies will support, nothing like that, right? So continuous support will be there. Career guidance, as I said, that it will continue. Even, for example, there's an interview tomorrow, we can connect you to the people who are already working in that company, or maybe we can tell you what kind of questions you may expect. Mainly depends on the interview feedback, mock interviews feedback. We can tell you maybe which areas you have to concentrate, or based on experience you have, what kind of questions you can expect. Maybe if you're joining and then you have some doubts, whatever it is, I mean, which location, which roles you're going to be assigned, what kind of challenges that company you might have. So everything, I mean, till the onboarding, and then even after, whatever questions you may have. So that continuous support will be there. There's no limit as such, only this help we can do, or only to this extent, or one job it is done, maybe our work is done, nothing like that, right? So the placement assistance will continue. This is what I strongly believe when I was as a fresher, or maybe when we look at many people we recruit, when we are in the company. One area we strongly believe is people miss in this area, right? So whatever job they get, whatever salary, I mean, most of the times as a fresher, we go whatever role is giving, whatever company is giving best salary, we go and take it up. Then we don't like it. Maybe start with insurance company, then go to banking company, then go back to manufacturing company, go to practice, again come back to industry. So many mistakes we do, or don't stick to one area. This is where we felt, avoiding those mistakes will help the student a lot. So that's where that career guidance is more important, is what we feel, right? So that will be there. So that's, including all these things is what the cast is written there, right? So I think that part is taken care. Again, we'll revisit if there is any questions there. Any questions at this point of time before I can continue with the remaining questions?
Sir, overall, how many companies are there for fund accounting side?
I mean, I don't have specific list, at least based on the placements we have done in the past, minimum, I can say 15 plus companies, right? So for example, Citco, Apex, Northern Trust, Society General, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citi. There are many small companies like maybe Eisner Amper or Cognizant has nowadays, even Genpact has nowadays. Deloitte is adding, EY is adding, RSM is getting into, RCCM, DISHA, Ascent. There are many, I mean, at least 15 plus. There are many new also getting into it. Coming to IB side, all those old companies are anyhow there. All of them, many of them have Bank of America, or Credit Suisse, or Barclays, or Nomura. So many of them are there. So they are Intertrust. I mean, this side, fund accounting side. So many, I hope largely got it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Please go ahead. I can hear
Sir,
you.
will you give some? Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, will you give support for both courses, sir, investment banking and fund accounting?
You're right.
Placement assistance.
You're right.
Hi, sir.
Please go ahead.
Sir, this is audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, actually, I completed my degree BCom in 2017, and I am recently qualified cost and management accountant. 3 days back, results came, sir. I just qualified.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get a good job, sir.
I mean, we do have CMA freshers or CMA enter, many of them placed. So I'm confident, yes, we can get it. And to my knowledge, there are many companies, campus also, they are coming, for example, Citco or Intertrust or JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs kind of companies. So maybe if you can get into that area, I mean, now itself, if you can learn before the placement, I mean, that
Apex Private Equity is there in campus placement, sir.
Yeah, right. That's what. So many of them are participating. That's what I'm saying. If you can get into these classes and then learn now all these areas, like what is these funds and then how they prepare the financials and everything, certainly that can help for your campus placements itself. Otherwise, also anyhow, we are in touch with those companies. We can continue to help you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So do you have any?
Sir, one more doubt.
Please.
Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you, sir. Sir, will you provide any financial support for this piece?
I mean, we can help. I mean, yeah. Actually, two things. One is we are going to announce, I mean, earlier also we supported many. We are going to announce from next batch, at least 2 students per batch will give at free of cost, mainly from financial background if they have an issue. We are always there. I mean, we are never tough on the fees. I mean, if there are poor people who pay quite late also. So, I mean, no issue. We can help. Maybe you can send out your details. If you need the support, we can help. And so as I said, even though we don't include many things, for example, when we started these classes, accounts classes, aptitude classes, those were not there. But some people were struggling to clear those exams like written tests, or some people are struggling with basic accounting. That's where we added. We never charge extra. That part we always look into. Even now, some of the HR, even last week, whoever placed, there are some feedbacks for us. You know, some people need some more communication skills and email writing. And, some of them, we're working on that. We are registering our own Toastmasters club in our office now. There'll be many additional these things. I mean, some guest lectures we are planning on those front also. All these things are free of cost. We don't add even single rupee to the student. For that matter, people who attend offline, we have a small reading room facility also. Our classrooms are kept open for their reading. So that way, all these facilities we don't charge. So that part, obviously, see, any organization has to survive. There will be certain things, but then maximum support will be there. If you're financially weak or you need some support, that will be always be there.
Okay, that's I thought any loan facility. I thought
the loan facility we don't have, because I mean, see, these are not any recognized. Of course, on a different note, we are starting MBA also, 2-year MBA. For that, loans will be there. Obviously, that there'll be a separate awareness session next week. There I'll talk about it. But for these certification courses, we don't have any loan facility.
Hi, sir. This is Rajendra.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Sir, is there any recorded? I mean, if any missing live classes?
Yeah, it will be there. If you can advance in advance, if you can inform us, we will provide that recording. Not an issue.
Yeah, okay, sir. And one more question. If I'm joined and from the day one, it's I mean, if any job openings is available, is it referable? Is it starting from the day or only after class?
Short answer, yes. But practically, if you see, day one and all are very difficult to clear. See, I think my point is this. Any job is job. If you have that attitude, maybe it might work. But we always suggest first understand the topics and then take the mock interviews. That's when you will be confident. Now, if you are sent to any company, that's where the meaningful performance will be there. And second thing, same company, there are days if your performance is somewhat like 40%, 50%, maybe they'll say, for example, maximum I can give X amount, let's say 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, whatever. If your performance is really good, I mean, if the hiring manager is convinced, this guy is really good with limited training, I can, use his services. There are days they'll instruct the HR, you can pay more also. Of course, there are many exceptions. Some companies stick to one bracket, irrespective, they'll not increase or decrease. But there are some companies where negotiation is possible. So this is where we always suggest first get good clarity on the subject, then go for the job. That's always better. So ideally, yes, maybe from the 2nd or 3rd week of the classes, you'll get some idea. Maybe you can start, but most of the times it will happen once the batch is over. From there, 2 months is a more ideal time for you to apply for the job. We don't have restriction. You should not apply like that, but then most likely that is the ideal time. Yeah.
Sir, are these regular classes or weekend batches? And also, will it be available offline or and
Yeah.
online both?
Yeah, both. One is offline, online, both is there. Offline is as of now only in Bangalore. Offline in Bangalore. Online is anyhow is given. So all classes online facility is also there. Coming to weekend batches, yes, we have next week, next to next week it's starting. I mean, if you check uniquefin.co.in, that website, or fund accounting, if you follow also, all the dates will be there. I think it's next to next week, it's starting April 1st week somewhere. Weekend batches also there for the working people.
Okay, the batches that you have mentioned here are regular, right?
You're right. These two are regular. That's what I'm just quickly checking. I think it's April 8th. I'm just checking the time. I mean, I'll just.
Hello.
But anyhow, it's there in the website also.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Go ahead, please.
Sir, is fund accounting includes lease accounting as well, or is it different?
No, that's different actually. Here, when we say fund, as I said, mutual fund is a fund, private equity fund is a fund, hedge fund is a fund. When we say fund accounting, you are preparing the financials of that fund. For example, mutual fund made 100 crores profit. You prepare the financials, I mean, profit and loss account of that mutual fund. You report that 100 crore profit and you distribute to investors. So the normal understanding of fund accounting, lease accounting, that's different.
Okay.
So we don't cover lease accounting.
Sir, hello.
Please.
Sir, actually, I'm working in Society General in middle office equity derivatives as an analyst.
Yeah.
So is it a good option to switch my career from investment banking to fund accounting, sir?
Possible. I mean, we do have people from all these backgrounds. See, there are two ways. One, even people from audit background or manufacturing companies background, those kind of people also made a switch because most of these roles into fund accounting at least are new in the, not many experienced people are there in the market. So they're okay as far as you have that skill set. Coming to you people, one more advantage is you are at least from the same industry. Right? There are many people who moved within the company also to other division from trade operations to fund accounting side. That is also possible. Otherwise, there are other companies who will say, yes, if somebody is from the industry, the middle office or whatever, back office or front office or whatever, if they want to move to fund accounting, they are okay to accept. And learning wise, I don't think you'll feel it much difficult. But yeah, most of the times we observe people who are already into trade operations, etc. They might have missed, or they might not have updated with the basic skills like again, accounting and preparation of financials, etc. For that, we have some support. If you attend those basic classes and all, you will be in a position to take up. So I hope you got it. Short answer, you can.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Please go ahead. Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Actually, sir, I'm qualified CMA, sir. I am working. I don't have relevant experience, sir. How to? Sir, if in case classes.
How many years experience you have?
Currently 6 months in a pharma industry, sir. Prior, I have pharma experience, sir.
Okay. Anyhow, we have similar cases. We can connect you to them if you required. My point is, there are CMAs who are not from the fund accounting industry. Maybe 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 6 years, etc. People from maybe CA firms they are working or manufacturing companies they are working.
Sir.
Now they are able to shift. That's possible.
Okay.
We can guide you on.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, please.
Good
Yes,
evening,
sir. I am Rajendra. I was completed my MBA in marketing as a major and finance as a minor in 2021. I'm currently working as a financial research analyst in global data. It was something like a KPO.
Okay.
Is it helpful to me take into the coming IB or FA? Is it be
possible? See, any MBA or any graduate obviously can get into, so you can. Coming to second, maybe you have to see, though you are saying research, what exactly you are doing, but normally these companies
mostly related to financial statements and writing and summaries and the statements only.
Got it. Then somewhat relevant, so possible. We do have people from data management companies like ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, or Refinitiv, or these kind of companies who attended the classes and switched to this, so possible, yeah.
Is it simply possible, or it will be a little difficult in switching?
See, that always depends on the industry, how many openings are there, how you prepared, and what is the competition. My point is, are there people from the same background who got into the industry? Yes. If you want, I'll give you those contacts. You can speak to them. How difficult, how easy, anyhow, it depends on the combination. So we can never say it is pakka possible, even either for a CA rank holder also, we can't say it's pakka possible, or we can't say for the junior, it's impossible. So I hope you got it. I mean, fair amount of chances are there. For example, if you tell me I spent maybe 8 years in completely irrelevant work, now is it possible? We say it's difficult. Coming to maybe you're talking about less than 3 years experience and somewhat relevant.
Just 2 years.
So that way chances are high only. But then now it depends on how quickly you can get into, or which company, good company or mid-sized company you can get into. These are the combinations we have to work out, but possibility is certainly there.
Hello. Sir, where is the classes location in Bangalore?
Marathahalli. If you know, that's in Marathahalli. Somewhere all these IT companies where they're located, like companies like Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, they were Vishnali and Marthal.
Sir, do you have offline classes?
Yes, offline classes in Bangalore. Online classes are anyhow available for every batch.
Sir, for the candidates who had already experience in some of the different field, and what for the purpose of salary, will they consider as freshers or like any?
No. They do consider. For example, we do have people even having 30 lakhs plus, maybe from audit background or some other background. We have placed them also. So the point is, obviously, they can't expect you to work as a fresher when you're already whatever 5 years, 10 years, whatever experience you have. So
they'll give like the current salary. Am I right, sir?
Current salary will be considered as a base. Most likely, they'll offer hike from there, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, you can attend classes in mobile itself or by laptop is mandatory?
No, not mandatory. Mobile is also okay.
I think it's question. So, sir, I want to ask, do you have any tie-ups with any investment banking companies for where you will arrange the interviews and all? How it works?
You're right. I mean, both. One, I also worked and we have some connections, and two, where there is a recent companies whoever is setting up in India or having bulk recruitments, our placement team will be in touch with them. So if, for example, if they say that today we need, let's say, MBA freshers of 10 resumes, or maybe CA freshers of 10 resumes, whatever. So we will ask in the WhatsApp groups, all the people groups will be created. There we take the resumes and then we go and submit. Otherwise, in the records, we'll have it, right? When you join, we'll take all these Google Forms and all the data. Based on that, we reach out to those people. Two, maybe sometimes whatever qualification or experience you belong to may not be direct ask from the company. In that case, we can personally guide you in terms of maybe what to present in your resume, what companies are ideal choice to you to apply. This is where we say the personal assistance or kind of, that guidance is more important there. I mean, for example, the expectation from our side is whatever background you are, attend all the classes first, and to take the mock interviews. There we can guess to what extent your preparation is. Now, there may be a chance there is good amount of recruitment for your qualification. The things will easily move sometimes. And there are days people get before the completion of the batch also. There are days people wait for after 2 months also. Both are possible. Coming to your point, if that is not happening, still we can guide in terms of, as I said, maybe where to take the references, or maybe personally we sending and asking either our old students or maybe managers who are hiring to take the references. So that way, yes, we do have some tie-ups directly we can send. Otherwise, also we can continuously help you how to reach out. Maybe there are days you have to reach out to HR consultants who are hiring. Sometimes you have to directly reach to HR, sometimes to hiring managers, sometimes to our old students who can refer you. List goes on. I hope you got it.
And one more question. So do these investment banking firms, maybe like top tier, like JP Morgan and Goldman GS and all this, do they really consider, other than rank holders in chartered accounts and all these as a fresher to take in investment banking? Are they very stringent or
generally no? You're right. So those top companies, particularly if you want to get into the consulting side, like whatever IB, generally you're right, because two reasons, right? One, they have high profile investors. The amount they earn as fees for each transaction is very high. So they have the affordability. Even for freshers, there are days we arranged some of the interviews. Even for graduates, they offer in those divisions more than 20 lakhs, even for fresher. So they have that paying capacity. Obviously, you're right. So they normally prefer at least first attempt and above. And rank holders are CFA or IIMs kind of graduate. You're right. So it's not easy to get into those things. Otherwise, you have to start with small companies, then you have to move. Otherwise, you have to start with finance company of JP Morgan, or maybe, I mean, finance division of JP Morgan or any other division. Then over a period, you can move. For that career transition, we can help in terms of where to start, whom to develop that rapport, and then what skills additionally you have to acquire, and then how to get into there. That way we can help. But you are right, it's not easy to get into.
And maybe last question, yeah. So in this investment IB roles, so how often a vacancy creates? Like how many times?
Very few. Very few. I mean, most, again, this is what even in private equity, the front office deal making and all. Normally through references itself, they'll be filled. You don't see much in the Naukri or somewhere else. That's where either you have to develop that understanding, like, what are the companies hiring? Who are the people maybe to whom to reach out? Then consistently you have to go and apply. There'll be a day it will work, but you are right. Frequently seeing those openings or bulk amount or walk-in or something of these sorts, almost nil.
Oh, okay.
So
Thank you.
this private equity market, even after maybe after something like 10 years or 15 years, what is the career growth and what is the market of private equity in India?
Right. There are 2 points here. One, maybe I show in my classes elsewhere. Let me quickly show here also. 2 points here. One is the entire industry throughout globe also, I mean, throughout the world is also growing. In India also it is growing. So we're expecting growth from both fronts. One, the companies that are established already in the foreign countries and then sending those roles to India. One, mostly back office financial reporting side is what the hiring as of now for the MNCs that is happening. But it is expected even the quality roles they'll add. For example, if you go back to 10 years or 15 years back, even the private equity fund accounting, etc., people used to do very simple sections, not end to end. Again, people from overseas used to review and finalize. I mean, they feel we don't have that kind of a skill set. That is changing now. Same way, more and more valuation related or maybe deal making related or at least support to deal making. All those things are expected to add in India. So that way, global funds adding more roles in India will continue to happen. That's our opinion. Coming to India, even if you take mutual funds, last 10 years itself, there is a significant amount of growth in terms of the number of people investing into mutual funds or the amount invested into mutual funds. Same thing with private equity. For example, Motilal Oswal or somebody like that, small funds they used to raise in the past. Now they're raising bigger funds and most of them are getting, I mean, more of those players are getting into that play, like, Godrej or ICICI or many players are getting into Edelweiss, many of them. So that way, again, within India also, the growth is expected to continue to happen. So that way, this is what we always say is for any career, look at least 15 years from now. Even when you start a career at 25, if you work for 60 till 60, 35 years career. So that's where we say, look at long-term only. I'm convinced. I mean, when I started also, we have not taken any other choice. I mean, the moment I read my CA final, I was in Mumbai. We know this is the area we want to get into. Any other roles we have not taken. We got multiple offers, obviously, in campus and all. We stick to investment banking. We continued 10, 15 years there. Now we strongly believe it is going to be the same. I mean, next 15, 20 years also, if you see global wise, the growth in the fund management or asset management industry and within India also, it's expected to have it. So we are not seeing any immediate issue as such, maybe there is a decline. See, some up and downs will always be there. That's a different point. But as such, the industry is expected to grow. There are many expectations. Just if I take mutual fund also, I'll show you quickly that number probably instead of telling everything theoretical. Give me a second. For example, so if you take here, roughly around 2014, here if you see, it was just 10 trillion, I mean 10 lakhs crores. From there, if you take by 2017, within 3 years, it went double, 20 lakhs crores. From 2017 to 2023, it has now touched 40 lakhs crores. It was even high, maybe market correction or whatever. Yeah, it is around 40 lakhs crores now. Now, there are many estimates. It will touch roughly 100 lakhs crores by 2025 or somewhere in that. For example, I mean, where from that confidence? Mainly, if you look at the GDP versus the amount invested into these funds elsewhere, like America and elsewhere, India, the growth is very small. I mean, the number of people depending on the stock market or mutual funds is very small. But looking at the employment opportunities in India and then, disposable income and all those things, they're confident it will touch 100 lakhs crores. Almost it's growing at 3-4 years double. That's how it is growing. Same with private equity and all. The funds are, hedge funds not much in India, but private equity is growing. So that way, yes, both, foreign companies coming companies here, both are expected to grow. Yeah, sorry, let me mute. I hope that answers your query.
Sir, what roles in investment banking are considered like premium? What roles to target?
See, target is obviously the more money if you want, the front office roles like mergers and acquisitions and IPO, etc. But is it easy to get? Obviously, no. Particularly these major main companies, no. Where most of the students are getting placed in the IB companies, whatever, Barclays, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, etc. Mainly into supporting divisions only. Something like they say IB operations, where people either buy and sell the securities on behalf of the client, etc. Or finance divisions of those companies, where maybe you have to review the financials of a private equity, or maybe you have to calculate the fees revenues to the company, something of that sort, mainly supporting. Still you need knowledge of all these derivatives, etc. But you'll not face the client. Again, most of these companies like JP, they'll have mostly clients from America and other developed nations. Sitting in India, you'll have very little scope to directly interact with them. So those roles are less. But if you want to target, obviously those are the roles money-wise. Then, of course, generally work-life balance will be quite less in those companies, rather those roles, because of the high expectations. You have to close the deals very quickly and all. But then if you get into finance teams and then moving into those roles also, other possibility you can look at. I hope you got it.
Yes, sir.
IBFA, I have cleared. Salary range, let me quickly put. I think our brochure and all, if you could have seen, we could have covered. But then again, if I take something like MBA, freshers I'm talking about, roughly anywhere between 8.5 to 11 is in between, most of them went. High level, maybe around 5 to 6 is most ideal. Then grads, mostly they went between 3 to kind of 7 is what, mostly around 3 to 4.5 is most of them. Then if I go to IPCC or CA Inter or CMA Inter, etc., most of them and an average went for somewhere around 5 to 6 lakhs. Freshers I'm talking about. I mean, except articles, they don't have corporate experience, roughly 5 to 6 mostly. But anywhere depends on their experience and here and there, somewhere between 5.5 mostly to 11. Again, I'm talking about the fixed. We are not talking about variable shift allowances, all those things. Some of the companies, they follow these practices to report our colleges, right? So including shift allowances, including variable pay, we are not adding. I'm just talking about the fixed amount. Roughly, that is a range in which people went. Same with CA. Most of the times it's anywhere between 10 is the ideal, somewhere there. But roughly range, if I had to put, somewhere between 8 to 15 is what people went. I'm talking about the freshers. Then experienced depends here and there, right? So it depends on the company. Depends on our performance and then our merits like first attempt or second attempt. And in these combinations, things work. But roughly, this is what the range for an idea. Then coming to, I think lost the questions are covered. Career guidance and all will be there. Experienced, obviously, whatever they have. We have almost 40 lakhs plus also many, if not many, there are people who we have placed with like AVPs or VPs or more than that title also, considering their experiences. Yeah. What is the background? Lastly covered. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so small dot. In some cases, we can see maybe after like 8 to 10 years or even after 12 years, companies might think that why should we pay more salaries to experienced candidate? Instead, we can have the new freshers. So
Right.
is that any of these things that might be same in private equity?
See, everywhere possible, that's where we say that the main thing is we have to keep update ourselves and we have to create that visibility. This is where I said again, some people say is job is job. For example, particularly with CA freshers also, we see this mentality. Maybe I got into campus, for example, I got into private equity, maybe in the campus, or maybe I got into some other role. My point is that trained versus untrained, there will always be difference. Again, one more assumption is company will provide the training. I agree, but they are not a training institute, right? It's just to complete the work, what they have to complete, they'll give the training, but they'll not give you industry overview or, you know, what are the other possibilities, etc. If you are given X fund, in that X fund, where to start, where to end is what they give. Is that enough for the career? Absolutely no. As I myself was there in the same situation. Many a times we felt, it's insufficient training. There is no way we can make the career. All these guys, to some point, they'll grow. For example, trained guy may start with, let's say both started with analyst, trained versus untrained. And maybe one guy knows now how to, you know, develop their skills. They'll have consistent growth. Maybe they'll go to next, whatever it's, let's say AVP level, VP level. When you have that recognition, you never feel you want to quit that company, or, you know, you don't have that lot of stress. Maybe some stress can be there. That's a different point. So now you'll not get into that kind of a situation where company want to throw you out of that, or maybe the salary is not increasing. You're looking for many options. Those things will not happen. Trust me, we have many people nowadays also get a lot of inquiries when we look into their career growth, or even we are into HR consulting also now, where we provide senior level profiles to the companies. When we see that resumes, easily we can see all these people who make these mistakes, untrained, or, you know, just with the limited training, continued copy paste work they have done, something like mortgage process related roles, accounts payable related roles. These things, I'm not saying bad, but obviously the learning scope is quite less in this kind of role. So if you get into those things or any other role in the company, if there is no consistent learning, there'll be a day you struck. This is where you get into these kind of scenarios you are saying. But as far as you know what role you are doing, and for that you have been trained, and then you are updating your skills, then I don't see that kind of an issue. And one more advantage for this industry is, compared to MNC, for example, your example mostly opt for Indian companies. You take CR, MBA, whatever, or SAP related also mostly. If you reach, for example, 10, 15 years, let's say you are at 15, 20, 25 lakhs range. Now you're right. That question comes, why should I pay you above, you know, that much salary? Maybe I can get into the fresher. Is that comparison is there in this industry? Maybe possible, but mainly two things. One is mostly dollar revenue they get, which means the benchmark will be much better. For example, here 25 lakhs is the saturation where they're not able to increase much. Maybe here mostly at least 40 to 50 lakhs it will be there. And there are many guys who are getting crores of salaries also, even in back office in India, because of that main advantage, dollar revenue they get and global benchmarking they have. For example, CA with 10 years experience, if I'm paying in Indian rupees context, let's say 2 crores there, paying 50 lakhs here, I'll not feel pain. So that is one advantage. So comparatively, you have much better scope here. That comparison may not happen. The second category of people who are, you know, continuously learning or already trained, then they'll most likely they'll never get into that kind of a scenario. We have even within my colleagues, if you can check my LinkedIn network also, even with graduation, there are people who are in the overseas locations settled, or in India, maybe senior VPs or head of the departments, etc. They're obviously earning much better salaries. So they're not getting into that kind of a comparison saturation point. So this is where we say, while choosing, you have to look at the company, whether they have their paying capacity even after 15, 20 years. Same way you have to look at the industry, whether this industry have ample companies and ample scope to pay that. Then of course, our work we have to do in the sense, keep updating our skill set and then, you know, learning the topics. If these combinations may work, you don't see much of an issue. Very less number of people got into that issue. That's all what I can.
Sir, along with this private equity, do we have to learn any other applications in private equity? For example, SAP or something like Investron or something like that?
Right. So they use, Investron, Geneva, all those things. If you have an idea, great. But otherwise, those are anyhow simple accounting software, something like Tally or little advanced. It's not like very complicated. Yes, whatever way, in case if you learn before, obviously it will be a value add. Otherwise, after getting into the company, you have to learn that. From our side, at least the basics we do make you learn. I mean, we don't have software, but people who are working in the industry will show you, you know, what are the options, you know, how to use that software, etc. At least you will have some idea before you get into the role. But you don't need specific training already. As of now, at least that's not the expectation. They say it's a desire. I mean, in case if you have, obviously it's an added advantage. But as such, we have not yet reached that situation. If you don't have, don't come. We'll not recruit. That's not the case.
Sir, how would be the career in case of reconciliations role in hedge funds and like that?
All right. So those are mostly kind of, that's what I said, mortgage process or these kind of thing. There'll be a day learning will stop at some point. Mainly one reason is these are voluminous, right? You compare two sets of data, mainly the custodian versus the prime broker data, stockbroker data. At some point of time, I mean, the systems will give you the feeds and you compare and do it. There's a little that value addition you can bring. I mean, 1 year experience versus 10-year experience. The difference is not much in terms of technical ability. If they have leadership ability, that's different. So the short answer, we strongly suggest to shift to quality jobs. If you start, that's okay. Then better move to the better job. This is where again some people make a mistake. Job is urgent karke some job they get into. Now they can't even change. That's why many people stuck. We get so many inquiries, people, right? I am already into reconciliation. I'm into mortgage process. I'm into XYZ process. Now I want to change. One, you have that notice period, and two, these companies will give maybe your mind stopped working. I mean, stopped updating. It's difficult to give. And some people change the experience and then change. For example, they do this kind of non-value added work. Then they change the profile. Now companies can easily find looking into the PF history and also. I hope largely you got it. If there is a possibility, internally move to other better role where consistently you are learning. But otherwise, if you're stuck in those roles, the chances are that you'll have difficulty at some point of time. For example, 5 years experience, now you want to change, not many options.
Yes.
This is where today also I'm having conversation even with the graduate freshers. If they're not able to crack fund accounting or any other learning scope or related jobs, I'm even suggesting get into a small company, including audit office, it's okay, but the learning should be there. If you look at yourself from today, at least 5 years or 10 years, you should have some consistent learning and growth path. I myself recruited in previous companies, for example, maybe a person is doing this kind of copy paste or whatever, 5 years, 10 years experience, maybe they are getting 5-6 lakhs. From there, the growth will be 5%, 6%, not much material with them, I mean, to deliver. Whereas the people from maybe even audit office or any hardcore finance roles, even if there are 3 lakhs till then, once they join the corporate industry, the growth is very fast for them, 6 lakhs, 9 lakhs, 12 lakhs. The point is, even if the salary is less, stick to the good roles. If you are just in a hurry, any role is okay, job is job, that's a dangerous mentality for the career. Maybe if you have other ambitions, within 2 years, I'll come out, I will do my business or something, that's a different. But if you're looking at least 5-10 years career, don't jump into every job in the market.
Sir, what kind of roles that we can expect in private equity? I mean, obviously it will be different from each company, but what type of roles that we can expect? I mean,
that's what I say. I mean, what's your background? I mean, CA, MBA, something else?
No, mine is MBA.
Okay. See, that's what, for example, MBAs last week we placed some of them into mainly either derivatives analyst or corporate actions analyst or something of that sort, where mostly MBAs, if you are from a normal college, maybe they'll not give you like, total like calculate the incentive fee or maybe calculate, prepare the financials. Those are normally they give it for CA Inter or above. But somewhere into that, I hope you're getting it. For example, if they say corporate action analyst, what this guy has to do, the corporate actions like dividend or bonus issue, etc., they have to process in the system, which will help for the NAV calculation of those funds. So something of those sort, where, if I say the higher level, it's a fund accounting. Of course, some of them we placed, for example, into JP Morgan, etc. recently, they got into end-to-end fund accounting, where posting of entries or calculation of incentive fee or sending the notices to investors, investor-related communication, etc. But any of these roles, I hope largely you are getting it.
Hello, Madan sir. Hello, sir. Hello.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. This is Siddharth from Guntur, and I am a double postgraduate and having 4 years of experience audit firm. How will be my future if I join fund accounting?
I mean, we have those people. I mean, as I said, that mainly if you look at private equity fund accounting, etc., they're okay with the practicing background people because they are strong in the accounting, financial reporting, finalization of books, etc. Now, if you learn these topics like, industry specific points, what are these companies? What do they do? Who are their investors? This area, if you are trained, there are companies to hire. 2, is there a growth? Obviously, as I said before, when the industry itself is growing, I'm sure there should be growth for you. So, I mean, there are opportunities and there is growth. I hope that answers you.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Do you have any students from medical background in the past?
No, Sriram. I don't remember at least.
Okay, so my sister is a BDS dentist and she wants to pursue careers. She has taken a career break and for the last 3 years she has not been doing anything. She's 30 now. So do you think she would be right fit for this
No,
course?
chances are less. I mean, as I said, some finance background is required. I mean, there are some engineering guys who did maybe MBA or at least if not MBA, they worked in some financial services companies like mutual funds. Those kind of guys did that, but I don't think it will be suitable for them.
Thanks.
Hello, sir.
Please.
Hello.
Please.
Sir,
Go
I
ahead,
am
please.
currently working in KPMG Global Company,
Yeah.
but I am doing only copy paste work. My
Yeah.
current CTC is 12 lakh. So and I'm also got that CFA Access Scholarship. So I'm planning to get in investment banking.
We can try. Please send the resume. It's about maybe at least some sections of your work, considering your experience. Looking at the pay that you are talking about, you should have some experience, obviously, right? It's not 1 or 2 years. So we'll look into it. Whatever is the areas that are relevant for these guys out of your experience, we can highlight. Maybe we can help in terms of.
Yeah, sir, but that audit is totally irrelevant. Means we are doing only copy paste. There's no learning at all. So that's why I'm looking for a field change.
No, I got your point. But then there is a way in which you can present. There'll be some learning at some point of time, or maybe some relevant points out of that.
Yeah, overall, I'm having 5 years of experience in accounts and finance.
Yeah. So send me the resume. We can have a look at it. But looking at least the industry that you are talking about and the qualification you are talking about, and it's a possibility.
Yeah,
send the resume. We'll have a look at it.
Investment banking is a good combination with CFA, if I'm not wrong.
Obviously, the career, yeah, CFA is obviously expected course. I mean, well-recognized course in those lines. Short answer, yes. Right?
I have one more.
You can send the resume to this number, my WhatsApp number. I'll
Okay.
have a look at it. We can discuss.
Yes, sir. So I have one more question. How much time after the course we can expect the placement? Means.
I mean, most of them after the course, 2 months or 3 months time from there, maybe 1 to 3 months. Most of them. But obviously, nobody can give guarantee within these many days. I hope you can understand that point.
Yes, yes.
As I said, again, my approach is always look at 35 years career. There's no point in jumping to all, unnecessary, no value added courses or no value added, jobs just for the namesake to tell to everybody I'm doing the job. Of course, that's not applicable to you anyhow. You're an experienced already. I'm talking about mainly freshers. So time is the secondary. Let's look at the best possible job that you can get. That's the view that we always.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Madan sir.
Please go ahead, please.
Thank you for taking us to this course, sir. I am from Bombay, and I am having 13 years of experience in accounts and finance, and currently I am working with Citibank. Okay, and my CC is 15 lakhs fixed. Okay, and I want to pursue these courses like investment banking and fund accounting. But will they consider my profile as a fresher? Because I never ever had this kind of experience in my previous experience. So I would like to join as a fresher, but looking towards the package, it is at a higher side. Like I'm drawing 15 lakhs fixed currently.
That's okay. See, we do have people, even as I said before, even 40 lakhs plus people we have placed. Trust me. If you want, I'll connect to them. There's nothing that I want to say, just whatever. So come to the second point. Citibank, we also have many of my colleagues from Deutsche Bank. Many of them are there in Citi. We normally have these conversations. The short answer, what I'm trying to say is 15 lakhs need not be a high for this industry. Yeah, maybe it's a decent money, but then need not be high. Of course, the main question comes is what work you're doing and how far it is relevant for the job that you're applying, either internally within Citi or outside. How far you are in a position to take up these additional responsibilities and comfortably you can do. That will be the question from the internally if you move to other team in Citi or if you go to the other company. Am I right?
But no, sir. Actually, I'm looking for IJP, internal job posting, because Citibank is
maybe
already...
my question is not clear. I'm sorry, Sushant. What I'm trying to say is, this is the question the hiring manager will have, in the sense, salary is secondary for them because considering the experience, they can certainly pay. The point is, let's say you are in the trade settlement, for example. Let's say you want to move to private equity. The question from the recruiter is, Are you in a position to directly take it? Do you have that skill set is the main question they have. My point is, we will help on that, right? So one, the technical areas, practically what you need. Again, I'm repeating, it's not like a theoretical, like what is the meaning of fund accounting? What is a private equity? No. The on the ground, as I personally, I also did that work, and then we have placed so many, many people, and then we know what exactly works there. So practically, we will train you. If you're struggling in one or two areas like accounting, etc., we can give you a double access. I mean, 2 times access to those classes also, like accounting and all. So once you learn those subjects, now you can certainly convince them. One, I have the experience. 2, I want to change the domain. Now I have these trainings behind me. Now trust, give me an opportunity, I can prove. Most likely it will work. I hope you're getting my point.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So,
yeah, sir, I have 4 years of work experience in artwork. Currently, I'm working in ENY. If I got a chance to work on fund accounting, how much package I can get?
Also qualification?
MBA, sir.
MBA, ENY, 4 years. If I'm not wrong, maybe you're around 5 to 8 in between.
Yeah, yes, sir. 7.7. My previous organization was Genpact. And since
okay.
1.5 years, I'm working in ENY.
Got it. See, normally to start with any jump, normally around 30 to 40% is the ideal any company look for or ask or expect you to have.
Yes,
now,
sir.
there are some students who got maybe even more than 250% also. Trust me again. You can check some of the records. We could have put it in our placement record and all. But when that happens is 2-3 things. One is you're exceptionally good with the subject that we teach and relevant to that company. And 2, maybe you have multiple offers. That's where you negotiate. In these combinations, more than 40% is also, then we can work out. But most ideal you can expect is around 30-40%.
Okay, sir.
Please go ahead.
ఒకవేళ 4 years కెరియర్ గ్యాప్ ఉన్నా సరే మళ్ళీ జాయిన్ అవ్వచ్చా?
We can try. Obviously, that's one question mark. It will come, but there are some companies who specifically recruit or conduct drives for people, employee return programs. Most of the companies have. Maybe we can see if you're fitting into that. Just because you have career gap, there is no way we can say that doors are closed. You will not get the opportunity. That is absolutely not the right way to look at it. Many of these companies encourage all those things to happen. I mean, they encourage people who are coming back from the career gap. We can certainly work out. Yeah, some companies obviously will have a concern. You're not working in the last 1 year, maybe you've forgotten, etc. But we can work out.
Hello, sir.
Please.
Sir, in both investment banking and fund accounting, which will be better in terms of learning and growth wise and concept like subject wise?
There are 2 points.
So
One,
you said that continuous learning should be there.
See, continuous learning, for that matter, whatever industry you are in, you have to have it. Otherwise, you will not have the growth. That's where we say that, we spend some time to give the sources like, how to read even newspapers or how to understand the business news channels related things also. We spend time. So that continuous learning, anyhow, you should have. That's one side. Coming to the first part of the question, as of now, more openings and more recruitment is happening, obviously the fund accounting side, because that's where the outsourcing is happening. So that's why even the course is designed in such a way, if you join investment banking, by default, you'll be given access to fund accounting. So my suggestion is, particularly for MBAs and degree or people having career gap and all these guys, we suggest to go for both. Maybe if you're from a CA background or if you can manage, even fund accounting also, directly with that also you can try. Then career perspective, both has its own, but then yes, again, more openings or more growth at speed at which they're creating jobs and all. Fund accounting is slightly, it's in the better shape as of now. But then it's a linked. The concepts that you learn in IB can help for the fund accounting career, or the fund accounting what you are learning can help you for the career in IB. I hope largely you got it. If possible, go for both. But otherwise, as of now, the advantage is with fund accounting.
But in few years back, like 4 to 5 years back, we have seen more booming in IB, right, sir?
You're right. Not 5 years, sometime back in 2007 to 2010, roughly.
Yeah. So like now, how about like growth in IB?
See, there are 2 points. Again, within that, for example, earlier there was not many additions from Barclays, UPS kind of companies. Then now they are adding. Last 2 years, we have seen more. So that way, industry is such a big, maybe one company outsourced more from, let's say, UK or America before, and now some of them may be adding. Next year, some of them might add. So that way, as such, industry not much to comment. One or the other way, the industry will grow and we'll have the opportunities. But of course, more openings, less openings, yes, those numbers will change. But see, any day, if you're good with that subject, you will always find the opportunities or growth. That's the other way to look at it, right? So whether the industry is growing or not, if you're really good, trust me, there are very few people in India who are already in the industry who understand all these things. Somehow, with experience, they're kind of, going on with minimal growth. There are very few people who are in the industry even for 10 years and 15 years now. They can easily understand what's happening in the stock market or what's happening in the private equity, hedge fund, etc. There are many terms or many technical things they don't even understand. So my point is, the moment, see, again, if you look into the types of institutes available like us who are specialized in this, or colleges who are having courses specialized in that, very few. So whatever statistics you see, there are very few people who understands and do the work. Maybe there are many professionals who are working in that country, in that industry. So my point is, even if industry grows at a medium speed, the moment you are good at a subject, I'm sure there are many success stories even we have. So there should be growth. For example, we have graduates who started with us maybe 4 or 5 years back with even 3 lakhs. They're already crossed 10 lakhs now. There are many people easily. Many times we get all these things. I got these awards, or maybe I got this appreciation, or I got the promotion. We can see that what the change with them, because they have the learning. So I hope you got my point. So career-wise, I'm not seeing any challenge.
Sir.
Thank you.
Sir,
CA with
sir, I
multiple
have
attempts.
yeah, go ahead.
Sir, CA with multiple attempts in IB career.
I mean, as we said before, maybe if you want to get into the front office like mergers and all, almost doors are closed, at least as a fresher. Later you might move. But any others, for example, again, private equity related roles, or maybe IB operations or finance roles of those companies and all, multiple attempts is not an issue. Even last 2 months, 3 months, if you see also, multiple attempts people, many of them are placed into very good companies also. Even Goldman Sachs also, earlier they used to have mainly first attempt kind of thing, but nowadays attempts, they're not much. They say most of the times 3 attempts is the maximum, but if the candidate is good, they even take the relaxation there. So largely, short answer, multiple attempts is not an issue at all.
Sir?
Yeah. Please go ahead, please.
Sir, what is the...
We did MCOM, sir.
I mean, is MCOM people are eligible to do these courses? If that is a question, certainly you are eligible. Yeah. Any commerce side, certainly no issue.
Investment banking, fund accounting, which is
Even if you follow my status today, MCOM student, one of the student, she got even 10 lakhs package, 10 plus variable. Again, as I said, we don't include variables into our CTC calculations. Anyhow, there are many MCOMs recently also placed, so you can do it. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, what will be the salary for CMA qualified?
See, most of them went between 7 to 9 as a fresher. Again, I'm talking about fixed. I'm not talking about CTC. Depends on the company. Again, variables or some allowances, all these things will be added.
Sir, if I join the IB batch, will I be ready for the campus placement time?
You're right.
If in
I mean,
March
I don't know
26th.
campus placement, but I heard, I think around after 1 month, at least.
Yeah, it will be on mid-May in Chennai.
Then yes. So fund accounting anyhow starting April 7th, which means by May 1st week, it will get over. So by then, obviously, you'll have good clarity on all these private equity, hedge funds and all that side. IB 27th onwards, if you attend also, the main topics that you need like derivatives, all those things will be anyhow covered. So yes.
Okay, sir. What will be the timing of the IB course, sir?
IB is morning, 6:30 to 9:30.
Okay,
No, sorry. IB is evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Fund accounting, the April 7th morning, 7:30 to 10:30. So one is in the morning, one is in the evening.
Sir, if I have any doubts, can I refer to the recordings again in the future?
Yeah. I mean, no, that provision we have. So the 2 points. One is that we'll give the class notes, detailed notes. That's enough. And we'll have summary sessions every day. We ask the students to do the summary or, topics which are over. So as far as you attend all the classes, there's enough system controls are taken. The topics will be revised in such a way that you'll be confident. And then in mock interviews, again, they'll test your knowledge. If you have any doubts, again, they can clarify. So that way, there's enough system built. No need to worry about if I missed that day, maybe I did not follow that class properly. Is the end of that topic? Absolutely no. And if for some reason you are not understanding in the next batch, again, the topic needs to be given. Again, case-to-case basis, we'll give that access. But my point is, we'll ensure you understand. So no need to worry about, do I have the recording and all? Subject-wise, we'll take care, you'll understand.
Sir, can I get my resume preparation assistance if I join?
You're right. As I said, that complete support will be there. Resume updation, having a discussion on resume, any doubts you may have, and any help you may need to build your LinkedIn profile, mock interview feedback, everything will be there.
I have to submit an application for the campus placement by 31st March.
That help will be there. You're right.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir, I have 11. Hello. Hello.
Go one by one. All questions will take. Don't worry. Go ahead, please.
I have around 11 months of experience in operations. Like I work in Goldman Sachs for fraud investigations. That's somewhat related to operations, like consumer banking. Yeah, if I join, I want to shift to my core, like accounts background. Will I be considered again as a fresher?
How many years you said?
No, 11 months. Just.
Oh, then that's nothing kind of thing. See, fresher. Again, there are many misunderstandings, but anyhow, I think when you say as a fresher, salary, will it go back? No, whatever salary you have from there, the hike is what we can expect. 2, as a role, depends on the company titles, but largely I can say that experience will not become 0. Even if you change the role, it will have its own weightage.
Okay.
And the quick you change, again, this is what, for example, we have many students like this because they're getting into retail banking operations, etc. Particularly, even other companies, people go by, a brand is big, maybe I'll have learning, maybe I'll have weightage. Yes, brand has its own value, I'm not denying, but then if you don't understand the role, it's better you always change as quickly as possible. I mean, I could able to recollect recently also, some of the students I have this discussion. We said the other company role is better, and then they got into some big name just because the role, I mean, company is bigger, maybe salary is better. That's a good thing that you are talking about. When you're not understanding the role, when you don't have much of a growth, it's always better to change. There's no point in just sticking. Many people make all these mistakes. That's what I say. Not only your case, I'm just generally saying. When we are there in the industry also, we have seen many cases, or maybe some of the mistakes I also made. Everybody makes it when you don't have mentor, when you don't have somebody to tell you at least what is right or wrong. Second, again, many get into all these false impressions. Somebody did the advertisement, some job is there. You're not like a sheep, right? So, I mean, the moment we don't apply the brain, somewhere everybody will say, get into this job, that job. Yeah, the moment you can't question what is good for me, at least 10 years, can I survive in this? Is there a learning opportunity to me? These simple questions, if you are missing, then we are making a mess of the career. That's good that you are thinking to change. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Hello, I have 2 questions. Number 1, I'm actually working for a startup company as a finance head. And my role over there is just looking over the financial statements, closure of the book, and also for the funding for the company. So now I would like to shift myself for this fund accounting role. So what would you suggest me? And
okay, go ahead.
And this is my question 1. And my question 2 is, you have just mentioned that in any role you are, you have to keep updating yourself in whatever the role you are. So say I have planned myself into the fund accounting. How do I keep myself updated regarding what's happening and in the industry or in this competitive world? And how do I keep updated? What do I have to search for?
See, okay, let me take one by one. The first point, it looks like largely the way you are telling, it looks like role is good only. If you're learning and if you're good, you can continue. It's not just like that you have to change. Coming to second part, whether the courses, if you enroll, is it going to help to the role that you are doing? Certainly, yes. The startup related world and the venture capital, private equity are anyhow certainly closely related. Certainly, it will be a value addition. You can still go for it. Whether to change the company or not, we'll take a call. It doesn't mean we have to keep change. As far as your learning is good and if you're applying in the job, you'll have growth in terms of money, in terms of designation and learning, then you can continue. Coming to the other part, how to update multiple ways. One is normally your supervisors or managers or senior management will also give enough hints. Means maybe we are launching a new product, maybe we are getting into the new business model, maybe some amendments came related to the work we are doing. All these things normally we don't pay attention, because when senior management is saying or some emails comes and all, we don't understand their language. Maybe either we don't have time because we are already occupied. Again, main reason probably we are never trained properly. That's why we are so occupied, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours we are doing. We don't get the time even to read those messages or, top management mails and all. This itself is one problem. Normally we don't update with what's happening. Two, obviously, what's the surrounding? I mean, for example, ChatGPT now, or maybe cryptocurrency sometime back, or maybe programmings, right? So most of these finance guys are also expected to know at least Microsoft Power BI, something of these things, some technicals. I mean, that side of the skills, or at least in the market, what's happening, what are the new products coming, maybe why interest rates are changing. So many ways in which you have to update. Some of them, some courses will help you. Some of them, daily reading the newspaper and following what's happening around us will help you. Some of them, your management will give you enough hints. At least some good companies, every quarter or every 6 months also, they give you feedback. These are the areas you are lacking. So develop those things. Sometimes technical skills, sometimes behavioral things. Sometimes people don't understand how to work in a team. Some people don't have some good communication skills in the sense to put across their point to the opposite person. So that way, that's where again I said, when you need a career guidance or mentor, in all these lines you need. It's not just a technical topic somebody is explaining, it will be taken care. Somebody has to understand your strengths and weakness. They can guide you, but otherwise you will get some enough hints. This area I'm doing poorly, that's why I'm not getting the promotion. Maybe I'm getting promotion, I want a little more fast. So these are all hints for you to which area you have to concentrate. Then formal and informal, both learnings are there. I mean, enrolling for the courses or, taking the mentorship. I hope largely you got the point.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
Hello, sir. Good roles in investment banking.
Sorry, come again. Investment banking?
What are good roles in investment banking?
I think we discussed before, it's a wide industry, but very high level. There are one division is investment banking. They say mergers and acquisitions and IPO related rules. If you need more salary, those are the rules. Otherwise, normally IB operations, global markets, they say where buy and sell of securities, etc. Those are also okay. That depends on your qualification. Otherwise, there are many other divisions like regulatory reporting or financial reporting. There are many of them. So what to target depends on your qualification. I can talk about it. Maybe you can send the resume if you need. We can discuss a little more in detail. But any role is okay as far as you have the learning scope. That based on the JD you can understand. If not, we can help you. I hope largely you got it.
Sir, any PGs nearby our institute in Bangalore, sir? So
I mean, in the same street itself, we have enough PGs. So Marathalli area, it's known for all these people, students come or employees come and stay in that area. I think at least 100 plus PGs may be there in that half kilometer, 1 kilometer radius. There are many.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir, I have a question, sir. Actually, I'm a MBA Finance 2021 passed out.
And maybe small, sorry, I'll take up your question. Yeah, normally people coming for Bangalore for offline normally have these assumptions. One is maybe cost of living is more. Two, maybe the language is different. We don't understand. Particularly people from Andhra might think Karnataka, Kannada and all, which is not true. I think some of the videos we have already made in Suman TV or Sakshi TV before, some of the Hyderabad students who came for offline to Bangalore, their views also we have posted there. Yes, my point is largely cost of living is similar. Either you go to whatever city roughly, maybe I think PGs are what 5,500, 6,000 rand. I think they're charging. Coming to language, it's obviously metropolitan city. All languages will do. Even Telugu, Hindi, anything will do. So you don't face any issue with the local language issue. I know sometimes at least Chennai and all, sometimes you face that issue unless you know Tamil, you cannot survive, which is not the case with Bangalore. So that way, obviously, you have enough advantages if you're looking for the offline class. Sorry, go ahead. If there is...
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. So I'm Prasanna. So I'm a 2021 MBA Finance passed out, and after that, I got a chance to work in IT itself. So currently, I'm working in Action Suite on SAP. but I don't have that much opportunity there in that project to develop myself. So I just want to come back to IB again. So my previous experience should be considered, or
I mean, again, same answer. To some extent, they'll consider technical aspects, you are right, which are not relevant. They'll not give much weightage. Obviously, the corporate culture or the experience that you have, the previous salary you have and all will be considered. So short answer, it will have its own weightage, or at least we can work out what points not to consider from your previous experience, what points to highlight.
okay. And is it okay to start IB now because I'm a 2021 passed out now? MBA
That's
finance.
okay. We are talking about 2 years. We have people who are changing their career after 8 years, 10 years. So 2 years is that's okay, pretty much acceptable.
So I can take both IB and fund accounting simultaneously.
Yeah, MBAs we always suggest both because only one fund accounting is only designed for 1 month. You may not find all areas within quick time. So IB, both courses will take around 2.5 months at least. So with all, yeah, you will be much better confident if you take up both. So suggested both. You're right.
Okay, okay. So it's better to start now.
Better to go for both. I hope that's the conclusion.
Okay, sir. So if I have to 7th March and 7th April fund accounting. So may I know the fee structure, sir?
That's what. So all inclusive, all these optional classes and everything, including 41. If you have referral to get discount further, so which is 39, it will come.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
If I have to take these courses online, because I'm not available in Bangalore, so in such case, will I be having this recorded classes with unlimited access?
No. Unlimited access we don't have. That's what I said. There are 2 points. One is online also, we expect virtual class, right? When we are teaching sitting in Bangalore, you are expected to attend from your place. 2, if you're missing, then we can provide recording only for that day. Coming to 3rd, why you look for unlimited access is maybe I'll not understand one point. Maybe I want to revise again. For that, I said there are 2 options. One, we give the detailed notes. If you take the notes and if you refer, it is taken care. If not, anyhow, we do the summaries, each topic wise again, by end of the classes, even case studies. Most of the topics, again, we ask the students to present. So as far as you attend all the classes, there are enough times the topics will be revised to make sure you're confident. And then, as I said, again, after the classes, people will take the mock interviews and test your knowledge level. So if there is any clarifications required, again, we will provide. And the extreme cases you are still not getting, maybe we can still help you. Maybe we can give you some topics access in the next class again, if you need. But otherwise, we'll ask you to prepare on your own. Then we can help whatever support. That support will continue. Whatever the benefit you are thinking the recording class can give, that will be taken care. See, the point is sometimes even the system will be misused because there is a recording. Maybe you will not attend the live class because you are not asking the question. Maybe I'll not answer. There are enough complications. That's where we suggest please attend live. That's where you will be attentive. And based on your questions and then understanding capacity, we can change the examples. These are not recorded, right? So these are live. We can always change the examples. If you're not getting the first example, we can give second. So that way, live is always better, and that is how it is designed. But don't worry, the learning wise, you will not be left behind.
Yeah, the only reason why is that because sometimes the timings doesn't set to our office timing. So in such cases, the only reason was to have a record like this because of the timing schedule.
No, I got the point. See, occasionally we can give, for example, let's say you started the batch. Maybe after 3 weeks, office shift changed. Now you want to change from this batch to next batch where the timings will set, we can give. Or similar question, some classes offline and now I have to go back to online, no issue. Earlier I was attending online, now I want to come to offline, any issue, no issue. So that way, all these flexibilities will be there. Don't worry about it, will help. All right.
Sir, we have seen a lot of people who are complaining about work-life balance, especially in the field of investment banking. So in order to have work-life balance, would you suggest fund accounting rather than investment banking?
See, there are 2 points to it. It's a little subjective. So when you see maybe in the Google, somewhere in YouTube, and all investment banking will have less work-life balance. Mainly they are referring to the front office, where you have to take care of mergers and acquisitions, IPO, etc., where the salaries are very high and expectations will be very high, where you may have to work 14-16 hours also, where very less number of roles. that we are not talking about it. When it comes to normal finance roles within the investment banking industry, as I said again, I myself worked for at least 10 years, right? So we have not faced much. Yes, maybe quarter end or something else, or maybe new project, you might face it. But largely those are, I mean, when the project is newly coming, yes, at that time to streamline, it will be require some additional work, or maybe in the quarter end, or maybe when attrition is high, maybe possible. But otherwise, most of the companies, it's a streamline, maybe around 8 to 10 hours is what you have to look at. Within that, again, depends on the team and your manager efficiency in the sense, I mean, some people understand they take extra resources and our quality of work, right? Sometimes if they believe we are capable enough, they leave it the timings to us. And give me a second. So largely, I think my point is, it's not about fund accounting versus IB. In IB also, there are roles with good work-life balance, or at least manageable work-life balance. In fund accounting also there are. But in both cases, not having is also the case, there are. But then mostly, if you are trained well and if you are executing the things well, even if they give the night shift or etc., there is a day, obviously they'll change because you are a dependable resource. We can help on that. I mean, how to take it up over a period, if not directly.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, will you provide any certificate after completion of course?
Yeah. So as of now, for fund accounting, yes, we are providing. For IB, we normally say related maybe NISM certifications, etc. You can write. If required, maybe we can introduce that also. But as of now, short answer, for fund accounting, we are providing.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Please.
Yeah, as we know, recently this Silicon Valley Bank crisis and fund crunching in startup.
Yeah.
Our recruiters are actually recruiting for fund accounting. And
See,
I want to know
direct
what support we can get for regarding this placement.
What support is it?
Yeah.
I mean, see, SVB case, I don't think there is a direct impact. Yes, some of the venture capital funds or companies, yes, they put money into SVB and it's collapsed, which means there's a liquidity issue till they kind of get it, or maybe some of them might lose some money. But that is specific to that company, venture capital, chota companies. If you take a company like Goldman Sachs or a JP Morgan or maybe somebody like Citco, I don't think directly they're involved into any SVB related issue, which means there's no direct connection, though there is an indirect connection. So recruitment into fund accounting versus SVB collapse, there is no direct connection. So we don't see any, at least major issue. Coming to second part, placement support, as I said, the day one, I mean, the first support will start from the resume preparation. Second, you'll be added into the WhatsApp groups. Whatever openings in the market, like maybe today MBA resumes they want, or maybe tomorrow CA they want, maybe experience, maybe freshers, we'll keep notify and we'll send the resumes wherever there is a relevant opening with the company. If not, we can continue to guide you in terms of what to keep in the resume, what kind of companies to target. Maybe the old students, we can ask to them to refer, otherwise hiring managers. We can ask them to help. So that way, see, we have cases like career gap of almost 10 years and they are placed, or people completely from data copy paste kind of a work, they are placed, people from audit practice, they are placed. So we have enough challenging candidates whom we have placed, but yes, it may need some time. So coming to your point, whatever is the support we need at any point of time, it will be there. Though we cannot give deadline within 1 month, you can be placed, etc., or whatever time. But the support will continue in the resume preparation, conducting the mock interview, where you are going wrong, where to apply, maybe whether in case we are not expecting any recruitment in these companies, maybe try for other company who might pay you a little less. So that way that guidance will continue. I can't say, I mean, almost everything that you need from the placement support side, it will be there. Does it answer your query, or maybe something else?
Thank you.
Any other question?
Hi, sir.
Maybe 4 or 5 questions, if at all, if you have quickly. 9:17 now, by 9:30 max, we can close it. We'll quickly summarize if there is any other questions. I mean, go ahead, please.
Hi, sir. This is Vishnu. Yeah, do you think a frequent changes in job is a good or bad?
Obviously, it's considered to be bad, but I mean, reasons are simple, right? One, if you are changing, why you have not checked it before? I mean, when you don't like that job, why did you get into? or maybe you did not really understand the job, you did not really understand the company. That's why you got into it. That's why you came out. Like this, there are many interpretations. Largely, any company expect you to stay for at least some good amount of time. Of course, for whatever reason, maybe the company is not doing well, or maybe there's no learning opportunities or something like that. Then if you have a valid reason, that's okay. So short answer, it's better not to change unless you have a real reason or valid reason. That's how the industry is.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, any other question?
Sir, I have only 3 years of articleship experience. I passed CMA Inter in CIPC Group 1 in 2018. Is it considered 3 years experience for job?
I mean, articles experience as such, they don't agree it is something like a corporate experience or any other experience. They say it's part of the curriculum, so you have done it. But is there a weightage? Certainly yes, right? So when they say CIPC, CR1 group, whatever, they expect, yes, you have done 3 years. That's why you know some practical hands-on experience you have. So they question on those areas, what you have done, how big is that audit firm, what is your learning. So that way some weightage will be there. But it's not like considered as a 3 years experience. See, again, there are many misconceptions. I don't know if you're also falling into that. There is nothing, a rule like 0 to 1 year experience, this salary, this title. 1 to 5 years experience, this salary, this title. It is not clearly defined across the companies, right? So some companies, fresher also, they may pay more than 7 lakhs, for example. They may be a company, even though you have 5 years relevant experience, still they'll pay you 5 lakhs. So likewise, there are so many exceptions. We don't need to look at, is it considered as an experience or not? The main thing we have to check is which company, this experience and this qualification will have a good weightage. There you have to target. So that is where we can come into the guidance. So this is where, again, particularly many freshers, maybe CA freshers, for example, maybe I have done the course and maybe I can get into the job and all. This is where they go wrong, in the sense, there is no way, even if you spend 5 to 10 years in a company, it will take good amount of time to understand all these things. Which qualification is better for which company, or maybe which route is better, experienced route versus fresher. So there are many combinations. Lastly, I hope you got my question. The short answer, 3 years is not considered as relevant experience or experience, but then it has its own weightage we can work out on.
Sir, if it is not considered, there is 3 years gap, no, sir, 2018 from 2018.
No, it's not like that, right? I mean, I think your question is this: 2018 to 2021, I worked in the articles. What can I show in the resume? Is it a career gap? Is that your question?
Up to 2023, I didn't do any job. If they are not considered articles experience.
No. Actually, articleship is done from which period to which period?
2018 to 2021.
So first question, 2018 to 2021, you will show, yes, I have done my articles. That 3 years will be there in the resume. They'll give some weightage, though it is not considered as an experience. Are you getting it?
Okay.
You're not saying you have to remove from the resume, or we are not saying that it has 0 weightage. But like, for example, you work 3 years in a company like Infosys, for example, that is considered as an experience. But this is not, because it's a part of the course. That's all. It doesn't mean it has 0 experience or something like that. Coming to second part, 2021 to 23, of course, that will be considered as a gap. You have to explain, maybe I was writing the exams, but then, I'm in touch with the subject. That's how you have to explain. We can help on that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Okay. If no questions, I think lastly, main
so what expression is used in Goldman Sachs private equity? Is it an Investron or eFront or Geneva?
No, I mean, as of now, at least the teams we worked with, and even last week, I have conversations with our senior team members. Mainly they are into review. They're not into fund administration business. They launch their funds and give it to somebody like, let's say, State Street or Citco or Apex, whoever is the fund administrator. So what is prepared by these guys will be reviewed and sent to the, auditor. I mean, either for the auditors to audit or to the investor. They don't use something like Investron to prepare the financials, because they don't prepare. Is that clear?
Sir,
they use other softwares for review. That's a different point. Sorry, go ahead.
Sir, I have a 2 years gap after my articleship. can I show any experience in that time? Can I get if I can get?
That we'll see, but see, the main point is as far as you have the good skills and then to explain, you don't need to look for any other shortcuts. That we'll see.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, any other question?
Sir, if any classes is missing, what can I do, sir?
That's what, if you explain, rather inform us in advance, I'm going to miss today because of these reasons, we can record that class and send it to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello. Yes, I want to ask, sir. Yeah, your Unifin office was opening in Pune. Hello.
Yes, yes. Go ahead, please. Yes, we have office. Go ahead.
I was asking your office was opening in Pune. So is your offline classes be running in Pune or not?
No, as of now. No, as of now, office is there, our staff will be there, but you can still attend only virtual class there. But once we have some sizable students, the plan is some classes we conduct from there, some classes from Bangalore, so that way it will be managed. Over a period, we'll have faculties there also. But as of now, there'll be enough support. At times we'll come and meet you so that offline interaction will also be there. But not all classes are offline as of now. In the future, you'll get that. I hope it is clear.
Sir, how will you get the opportunity through Naukri or LinkedIn or through your end?
How we get the opportunity? Is that the question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Absolutely.
All combinations. You're right. I mean, for example, one side on a regular basis, we'll be in touch with the companies wherever the recruitment is happening.
Yes,
so we'll speak to them and we find out the recruitment requirement and we reach out to the students and take the resumes and we send directly. This is one. Two, of course, we guide the students as to how to prepare the resume so that maybe relevant calls will come directly from Naukri, or in LinkedIn also how to create the profile, way to apply. So that way, see, we always say, forget about the institute like us, even if you are from IIM or any other institute also, when you try from all sources, that's when the things can be much better. I mean, the result can be much better, better company, better salary, better role. So that way, the guidance will be there from all fronts. The placement can happen from any of the sources. Okay. So assuming all questions are taken care, we'll wind up. But then all this, yeah, I'll take up. Anyhow, all the contact points are given. The first is my number and then office number is given. There are many numbers, at least one you can reach out. Then Telegram group, if you're not there already, Fund Accounting Telegram group, you can join. They also will give the updates. Website also you can look at it, uniquefin.co.in or even fundaccounting.co.in. These websites will have all the details. Yeah, any doubt, don't hesitate, stay in touch. Go ahead, please, if there is a question.
Sir? Sir, I completed MCOM in 2018. I have no experience, sir.
Go ahead. Can I do the course is the question? Assuming that is a question, you can do it, please. Yeah. Even career gap and all can be managed in the sense, again and again, I'm saying the same thing. If you have experience, that's it. Go ahead, please.
Sir, I completed MCOM in 2018. I have no experience, sir.
I got your question. I'm answering. Maybe you're not following my answer, I think. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, I'm repeating. It can be done. I mean, you can attend the class. You can learn the subject. We can guide you. Even though there is a career gap, maybe how to get the job or how to apply, we can help. Is that clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other question?
Yeah, one more question. Hello.
Maybe last, hopefully. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. I want to ask just there are two field of study, right, in your business school, and that is fund accounting and investment banking. So if you're providing placements to assistants for both, right?
You're right.
So in fund accounting, actually it is the one stream of investment banking only. So in that opportunities will be less or only for that role, if the opportunity will be there for that those students who are studying in fund accounting, so opportunities will be less or same as equal to investment banking students.
No, I mean, your voice got broken in between, or at least the noise, I mean, the sound is less, but largely I think you're talking about, if I'm doing IB, maybe if there is an opening in fund accounting, can I apply, or will I come to know? Something like that. Am I right?
Yeah, I was asking if fund accounting is one line of investment banking.
Okay,
So
yeah.
So means placement opportunities will be less in fund only in fund accounting only for that, right?
I mean, okay, largely I hope I got the question. Maybe let me answer. If not, I can take up follow-up question. So the point is, see, as of now, there are more openings in the fund accounting because there are many companies who are only into that line, like for example, Citco or State Street or Northern Trust, etc., etc. They don't have investment banking side of the business at all, right? They only have asset management side. So that's where more openings are there. Okay. Coming to IB side, as we said before, somebody like UBS, Barclays and all. Yes, you're right. Goldman Sachs and all, if you take, there is one division IB operations, one division investment banking, one division fund accounting, etc. But most of them are interrelated. There is no clear distinction. That's where we can guide. But largely, that's what we are saying. If you take only fund accounting, of course, you can only apply for those kind of fund accounting because there is more recruitment nowadays. Obviously, the chances of getting into job is high. Over a period, if you look at it, we suggest to do both. Anyhow, we can continue to apply for either side of the business. I mean, either side of any team, etc.
Okay.
And one more thing, maybe I missed a point. For example, you enroll for only fund accounting today. Maybe after 1 month or 2 months or 4 months, whatever, you want to enroll for investment banking also, you can do it. Only the difference will be charged. For example, fund accounting, we are charging 33 now, investment banking 41. So by paying that additional 8,000, anytime you can enroll for investment banking also, if not now, later also. So that way, enough, all these possibilities are taken care. The guidance will be there from all those lines.
Sir, if I get a job offer under your job assistance, and if I don't like the package, can I still continue to apply for these jobs?
You're right. You're right. We don't have any rule. We showed X job, you should go. This is where we said that the moment people expect I must get a job in this period, or maybe somehow where is my job, then you don't have that quality. So the point here is we don't force X job came, you should go, my work is done. It's not like that. So if you're not liking, maybe you can try for other. That's okay.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
No, sir.
Chalo. Thank you. Thank you all. As I said that any other questions you may have, please stay in touch. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Good night.